Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. This time something from Reich slash keto, which will be linked down in the description. You guys can check it out. I know what this looks like, and it is definitely a more complicated and expensive build than what we typically see from the folding knife world, but pretty typical actually for Rike slash keto. So very excited to get in here and see what we've got going on. I think they're both, in fact, I'm certain that they're both the same outside of just their aesthetic. One is probably coated and one is probably uncoated. But what we have here is the KT Mecha X, and this is the P variant. The other one is the B variant. So I'm not sure what, okay, so that's good. That's the one that I wanted to start with. Yeah, so what we have here is a knife with what's becoming a really popular, at least with a couple of different companies, but it's a sheath construction. Now what do we have? Something slightly different here. We'll get to that here in just a sec. These always kind of intimidate me. But let's go ahead and flip that blade out. Yeah, really nice. We have what looks like, you know, maybe a glass blasted or vapor blasted blade. We've got little sort of like deployment levers there, which actually work really well. This is great. So they had launched the TISO, and I don't know when you guys are watching this, but I reviewed the TISO. It might be public. It might still be in scheduling. But I found the TISO to be incredibly weird and inconvenient on deployment. This actually works really well. Now it's way into the cutting path. I mean, like 3/4 of an inch into the cutting path, which is an interesting choice. And by interesting, I mean not a great choice. We have a nested, not quite above the show side scope, but we've got a nested liner lock that appears to be steel. I'm wondering if that screw there is holding in a lock bar insert, which is not what I don't expect to see that. It's not like something that has to be, right? They can just make this part steel. That might actually be. I wonder what that screw is. Yeah, that looks like a chip. Okay, well, I'll confirm that, but it looks like this, is that whole piece something separate? Yeah, a huge lock bar insert on what would have to be a titanium lock bar. They don't have to do that, but it's cool when they do it. It's definitely more expensive to do it that way. The flipper tab, very low profile. It works pretty well. I would say it's more, the reverse flick is okay. The most satisfying way for me to deploy it is this way. I missed it there. The traction you get off of this is actually pretty good as long as you're landing in the right spot. It's just weird that they chose to put that thing so far into the cutting path. This reminds me a lot of, actually, I've got it right here. It's Remet's new, I mean, it's very similar. Wow. Curvature, right? Kind of. I mean, we have different aesthetics here, but a very similar style, right? A little bit different blade. This is the WK, I can't remember what this is. But Remet also doing the sheath construction build type thing. So very, very similar, like strangely similar there. Really weird. But anyways, it just happened to be right there. Worth pointing out. Before we get the other one out, I want to figure out exactly how this comes apart. There we go. Oh, super easy. That's what I wanted with the TISO. It just didn't want to do that, right? So this clicks back on here. Yeah. So this is also spring loaded. What is going on here? These are the release of these two knives is like at a similar date. The aesthetic is similar, and the addition of the spring-loaded switch for the sheath construction is also similar. Something's happening here. I think to say somebody's copying somebody is the tip of the iceberg. I would like to know why these are so I'm going to have a talk with both of these companies and find out what the heck is going on there. But yeah, that's really weird. It's a cool knife. This is an expensive build for sure, doing a sheath construction like this. But I am happy, getting back to this design in particular, this is really easy to release. Pull back, pull up. That's it. You have access to the pivot. From here, yeah, you would release both screws, and then how do we access the rest of it? Interesting. I don't know. There has to be another screw somewhere. Look at this. Look at that lock bar. Almost GTC style, where it's in between a part of, it's cut, the whole lock bar is housed within the subframe. I'm calling it that because I don't know what else to call it. How does this engage? Sorry, I'd have to engage here. I want to look through the back. Surely this isn't... Okay, let's see if there's a slot on the back. I'm checking to see if there's an indication of it being some type of compression lock. Does it slide in behind? That's so crazy. Just checking. I don't think so. Here's your engagement face right there. So it's not sliding in behind anything, but that is an interesting build. It looks like the pocket clip would have to come off in order for the rest of the frame to come apart. Unless... Do you pull that back and is there another release for something else? I'm not sure. So this is why we do the unboxing and first impressions first. If you're confused, it's because this isn't a review. I like to have the experience with the knife for the first time and record it and let other people see it, right? It's also a nice way for me to get additional details from my viewing audience, for those people who know better, because there are always people who know better than me, and that's fine. But once we have all the details figured out there, then of course, look at that. That is so interesting. So a piece of the frame lock, we saw the whole thing, but a piece of it is exposed out here, I think for no other reason, because they could have encased that entirely. They're literally just showcasing their ability to machine, or how complex, like they're just being complex for the sake of being complex, which is fine. Flex away. I think that's cool. We have enough boring and simple stuff, right? People complaining about the unnecessary, embellishment of folding knives, right? You have nothing to complain about. Your cup runneth over. You have way more options than you could possibly experience in multiple lifetimes. So there's no reason to complain about things being overcomplicated for the sake of being overcomplicated, because you've got too much, right? Let us have this. This is interesting for some people. Who am I screaming at? Trust me. Trust me. I get over 100,000 comments a year on this channel. Trust me. The complainers are real. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure exactly how the rest of it comes apart. But anyways, I'd like to look at the other one. Since we're like 8 minutes and 20 seconds in here. Could this just be an amazing coincidence? I don't know. It could be. It's just... What the heck, man? What is happening? The other one is black. So, no surprise there. Actually, that's pretty sweet. Woo! Now, what is this? Is this DLC? I don't know. It's... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Usually it will say on the button. No. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll find out what exactly the coding is. My money is that it is not DLC, but it could be. We'll get the details from Reich / Quechua, but I would like to solve the mystery of the similar product here. Remet, out of nowhere, releases a sheathed frame knife. It's very impressive. Right around the same time that Rike and Quechua release a knife that's not identical, far from identical, but similar in a strange way. Could be a coincidence. I don't know. I can't say that I've ever had this happen, but I received knives from both companies, so somebody will have some sort of answer, right? Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. I will do a full review and breakdown of these knives down the road, and also, of course, with the Remet that's eerily similar. That's going to be it for today. These knives will be linked in the description. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex, and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.